This video summarizes the dashboard, which is the first thing that you will see when you first sign up or when you log into HuddleIQ. Since I've just signed up for a new account, the first noticeable item I will see is the What's New section, which outlines any recent major updates. Once you have read through this, close it. After this, you will be presented with a tour that highlights important dashboard areas, such as creating a new board, projects, and more. I'll end the tour, as we'll go over these areas in more detail in this video. If you do not see the left side panel, click the 3 vertical lines on the top leftmost position of the dashboard. The first item is the My Boards section, which is displayed when you enter the dashboard by default, and it displays all the boards that are important to you. By default, this includes starred boards, or boards that you have been invited to. Please note that any board you create is automatically starred, as it assumes that that is important to you. Note the search functionality, which will search all available projects and display boards matching the search criteria. Alternatively, we can change the filter to display only boards that you have created, which in this case will be the same as we have just created the account. There are options for sorting your boards, including ascending or descending order, and displaying the boards in a grid view, or list view. For each board or invite, you'll find a 3-dot menu with numerous functions, such as opening the board in a new tab, inviting members or guests, which we'll cover later in this video, managing the board, or details about the board. Clicking About gives us details of the board or invite, including how much storage it uses. Note that only files uploaded to the board, such as into the library or as a card attachment, are counted towards storage. Here we can change the board image, so let's do so to add some color and distinguish the board from others. If you're an administrator, which you will be by default if you signed up for the account, you will see the administration section, so let's expand and explore that. Organizational profile allows us to change the organization's name and the default time zone for newly added members. We can upload a profile image for the organization, which I'll do now. The Member section is where we can add, edit, or delete members. Let's add a new member by providing a first name, last name, and email address. We can choose whether they are an administrator, or allowed to change their profile image, or their license status, which determines whether they use up a member license and can access HuddleIQ. This is useful, for example, when a member goes on extended leave, as it preserves their account. We'll also add a second member for the purposes of this demonstration. So now we can see our newly added members. Now let's edit one of them to display new options, such as the ability to change their password, or transfer ownership of all their boards and assets to another member if we so choose. Which is a mandatory step if you choose to delete the member. Also, note the count of projects and boards created or owned by the member. Next is the subscription section. By clicking Edit, we can adjust the member's licenses wanted, change the schedule, and display any pricing changes in real time. Clicking Summary of Changes details all the changes, and when they will occur, allowing you to preview changes before committing them. Now let's explore projects, which allow you to organize your boards. You can think of them as folders, and boards as files. There are 2 types of projects, private projects, and shared projects. Private projects, hence the boards they contain, can only be seen by yourself unless you decide to invite someone to a board. As we already have a private project, let's create a shared project. Toggling on the shared option determines if it is shared or private, and with shared toggled on, we may add members who may access the project, and select their permission level. Let's add one of our newly added members, and give them project editor access, allowing them to create and edit any board in the project. However, they may not change any project settings, as displayed on this page, as that requires project manager permissions. Here, we may set whether guest access is allowed by project managers or editors. We can also set the visibility of the project. If project listing is enabled, the project will be visible to everyone in the shared projects list, which helps advertise its existence to others, but it will not display any boards, or the project members. The next option of project members allows everyone to see which members have access to the project. This final option of project boards will display the boards in the project to everyone, but they will not be allowed to open its boards unless they are a project member. Let's now create the project, and it now appears in the shared project list, where we can view and change its settings, view members, and obtain information about the project. To create a board, click the New Board button, and provide a name. As the project is already selected, the project field is already pre-filled. However, if we created the board from the My Board section, we would select the project the board is to reside. We can optionally invite members or guests. Note that there is only one available member, as the other member already has access to the project. Let's add them and assign them board commentator access, allowing them to open the board, add comments, engage in chat, participate in conferencing, and view presentations. However, they will not be allowed to edit the board. If your plan permits, you may obtain guest links as either board editors, commentators, or viewers. You may also set the welcome logo for guests. Here we will select the organizational logo. On clicking OK, this member will now be sent an invite, and the invite will be displayed in their My Board section. I'll toggle off the option to open the board after its creation, and will now create the board. As we invited a member to the board, now is a good time to view the invite sent section. Here, we can see and manage all member invites sent, including opening the invite, changing the members invited, or canceling the invitation. In all cases, appropriate notifications will be sent to affected members. Now let us turn our attention to the icons in the top right section of the dashboard. The first is the notifications icon. Here you will see all your notifications, such as mentions, invites, and task assignments. On each notification, you'll have options ranging from view, which will open the item in question, to acknowledge, which will archive the notification. There is also an Acknowledge All button to quickly archive your notifications. To configure your notifications, press the Settings icon. Here, you can set your time zone and enable browser notifications, which will notify you of new notifications in the browser, even when HuddleIQ is not open, or actively in use. Next, we can expand the various notification categories, and select how and when we receive individual notifications. You will have the option to configure whether to receive a notification via HuddleIQ's notification list, and email. If you have integrations such as Slack or Microsoft Teams, you may configure receiving notifications via those channels. Lastly, you can determine when to receive a notification, be that immediately, or daily, as defined by your daily notification time. Let's, for example, enable notifications for when someone deletes an invite I sent. Now let's look at the task list icon. Tasks can be created and assigned on the board using cards, and here you will see what tasks are open, to do, and completed, with various information about the task. The link icon will open the board containing the card in a new tab, and automatically display the card in question. We can also export the tasks into a spreadsheet. Next is the Help icon. Here we can search the Help Center or go directly to a help category. Additionally, we can submit a support request, or view a list of shortcuts available. Lastly, we have our Profile section, where we can edit your profile and change your profile image, name, email address, and password. Additionally, you can provide feedback, see what's new, or sign out. We hope you enjoyed the video, and now understand how to use the functionality available in the dashboard.